everyone. Today we are starting our third session of the day. The topic is agile ingredients to build and grow a startup. We have a wonderful panel for this session today with us. So before we begin, so Innovation Roots, it is a leading consulting and training service to achieve business agility and beyond. It is one of the leaders and pioneers of niche publishing services and well known for content collaboration with global thought leaders. Please visit www.innovationroots.com to see their upcoming events and summits that are coming. Thank you. Thank our sponsor Jail. So Jail is a product offering from Tata Consultancy Services Limited and is a purely cloud-based enterprise agile planning tool. Along with DevOps capability, enterprises can use Jail to adopt agile practices or scale across multiple Scrum and Kanban teams using enterprise scaling frameworks such as SAFe, Disciplined Agile, Less, and more. You can try out for free for up to 20 users for 1 year by signing up at Jail. Out to us for any inquiries or exclusive product demo page on Agile Network India website for more information. Thank you. Now I would like to hand over to Deepa so that she can.
Okay.
Over to you.
Shall I share my screen, Prakash, or would you do it for me?
I will do it.
Oh, that would be great. Welcome all. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking out time and joining this panel discussion. So, startup has been seen many changes through these years, past years, and once an industry which was yearning to be taken seriously, startups has become now primary engine for growth and job generation in India. No one can deny the role of agile in startup, and today our top panel discussion topic is very close to this startup generation or startup world. The today's topic is agile ingredients to build and grow a startup. So we have our wonderful panelists with us to discuss on these topics, and then we have question and answer session where we will cater your questions. Let me first introduce myself. I'm Deepa Nambiar. I have 15 plus years of experience in industry. I'm working as an agile coach with a leading bank. Over to Monica. Hi, Monica. If you please introduce yourself. Monica.
Yeah.
You're audible, Monica. Please introduce yourself.
Hi all, I'm Monica Yadav and I have 20 years of corporate experience in companies like IBM, Polaroid and Cognizant. And by qualification, I'm an MCA and MBA and currently working with Clean Tech Solutions. So that's my startup. I started that in 2020. Thank you.
Moving on to Shipra. Hi, Shipra.
Yeah, hi Monica, thanks. So hello everyone, I am Shipra Agarwal. So briefly about me, I have been into the agile world for around 6 years and my total IT experience is around 14 years. So I have been into this agile world where I've trained and coached and consulted people from diverse organizations and have trained, nearly 600 plus people in various agile frameworks. And it will be lovely to connect with all of you via chat through questions and to have my colleagues and the panelists and to learn from them as well. Thank you.
Welcome, Shipra. Hi, Apurv. Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks. Hello, everyone. I am Apurv. I have 9+ years of experience as a Scrum Master, and I have worked majorly with mobility and cloud platforms. And currently, I'm working with FigMD India Private Limited as a agile consultant, and wherein I help a team adapt agile mindset and I teach them and rather cater them to be more in terms of agility and how can they deliver the quality products using agile methodologies. So lovely to be here, lovely to be with all the fellow panelists and you all, and happy Holi in advance to everyone. So thank you.
Thank you, Apur. Welcome. And thanks, our wonderful panelists. Let's start the discussion now. So, my first question is what agile practices can be applied for building up the startup? And I would like to ask from Monica, because she has already started her startup and it is successfully doing wonderfully. She's handling that startup. So Monica, what are your views? What kind of practices, agile practices, can be applied for to build the startup?
Thanks, Deepa, for giving me this opportunity. So, my last role in IBM was agile coach. So, I'm very much connected with the agile personally and professionally. So, I would like to say that it's a mindset which you need to develop over a time. And for me, it's a game changer because I have worked in IT industry, and now currently I'm working in a service-based industry where you don't have actually product to market, and you need to have the client satisfaction and deliverables, and that can only be measured based on their feedback and the kind of services we are providing. So for me, like agile has developed my positive aspect in life. Like whenever we have any change, so we always should have the never give up approach, because based on given example, like last year when I started, soon after that COVID-19 pandemic was started. So that was a very unusual condition for entire industry and all of us, where no one was prepared for that scenario. But in clean tech, what we have done is like because people were using laptops and they have internet connectivity. So I'm just trying to connect in a small way how we can make a change as per the demand of, you can say, the time and scenarios. So we conducted the stand-up calls. Zoom calls. Initially, it was like physical Scrum calls, but later we shifted to Zoom calls. So that was as good as like we are connecting with team on daily basis for day-to-day tasks. Then for that particular period, we started with the closing day touch base calls, which will give us insight like what we started in the morning, and whether we are able to achieve that by end of the day or not. So these are small examples which can lead organization or a startup in a more structured way. And then like task tracking, what we usually do is we divide the task in a traditional way. But Agile says you pick and choose as per your, you can say, the efficiency and requirement. So you need to prioritize the given task list and then you can come up. So gradually my team, who are not from the IT background, they understand the benefits of that. So they grasp that knowledge, and now it is like a regular activity for them. They don't find it apart from the normal traditional thing, because everyone was habitual of having a one-to-one meeting and then capturing the moms. One wonderful example, when we started the retrospective, they didn't understand like what actually is the meaning of that. So we just let them learn in a simple way the mistakes we have done over like a week's time. And because we don't have delivery, so I traditionally fix it to the week's time, when by Friday all of us will sit for 1 hour and we find out the crisp of our activities or the outcome of that week. So it was like the achievement and the lessons learned we have, the challenges we need to focus on. And a colleague from my team who was a fresher from college, so he suggested, ma'am, why not to have wow and how session. So I asked him to elaborate, like what do you mean by that? So he was like, wow is like we can recognize the people who are doing good work and we can motivate the team for their achievements. And how is like the new things or new challenges or new concepts which are coming, how we can handle it. So that was a wonderful idea, because the team collaboration and interaction with them that was the foremost important thing for any startup, because you have multiple minds and ideas which can collaborate and provide you the benefit. And the main challenge in service industry is people are majorly, like if I talk about the industries, they're not from the IT background. So taking feedback over Google form in itself was a little challenge, because you need to make them understand that because we can't come personally or we can't send our executives to take feedback. So but over the time they have also understood the requirement and they cooperated in a best way. So to summarize, I would say acceptance of change, the unseen challenges, we should always be ready with that in any kind of industry. So I think that is my learning for a startup. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica, and very well explained, like how Agile help in collaboration within the teams, how the never say no approach of the changes help your startup to accommodate all those changes, whether it's COVID-19 or whether it's a team not physically available. So that's really good. And another thing which you explained very nicely is about innovation, how Agile helping your team to get innovated and give chance to everyone to be a leader. Thanks a lot, Monica. Let's move on to the next question. So my next question is from Apur, and the question is how Agile-based framework help reduce go-to-market time. So we always listen this that Agile reduce the go-to-market time. Agile reduce the delivery time.
Deepa, I guess there's some distortion in your voice. I mean, is it only me who's experiencing this?
As your experience,
Oh, I'm also experiencing this.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm also facing same. I can't
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
her.
All right, so I'll take it over from here. So yeah, so okay, all right. So yeah, so the question is how agile based frameworks help reduce go to market time, right? That is a very good question, and especially yeah, and especially when we talk about startups, right? The seedings where the performance is and the expectations are very high, right? You have an investment, you might have broken your FDs or you might have taken some loan, right? And then you enter into a potential market where you go and you want to prove yourself, you want to get revenues, you are worried for ROI, right? So using agile based frameworks can be pretty much useful over there in getting those revenues, those numbers, right? So yeah, so understanding
you can start if you mean. Yeah.
so agile, right? Agile is basically a framework, or agile based models are the frameworks which basically focuses on two major things. They are like the models are pretty much incremental and iterative. When I talk about incremental, it's like delivering something in chunks, and iteration means they are divided into iterations which we keep on doing in a period of cycle of time, right? So the biggest benefit is understanding your market and delivering according to the market needs. Like for example, I have a uh, uh, feature that which I want to roll out soon. I can do it now, right? Previously, if you talk about the other models, right, wherein there used to be a lot of brainstorming for making a product, there used to be a huge capital involved, that you want to have so much of resources, so many hours of work to do it. But yes, we are happy to and blessed to be in the world of agile, which helps us doing things quite swiftly, adapting to these particular frameworks, right? Now another thing that is the most important thing is when you talk about going to the market, right? So agile do ensure that there are shorter approval cycles. Now by approval cycle, I means that the involvement of the stakeholders. Now stakeholders are pretty much involved into the everything, right? You go and discuss with them everything. They are the one who takes who understand their product well. Of course, it is your team who's also working on the same, but at the same time, uh, the approval cycles are pretty much short because you have constant collaborations. It is also one of the agile values, right? The another point is that it is pretty much easy to adapt. Agile is not something which is more of a rocket science. A simple sense and a simple agilist mindset is just required to understand the philosophy of agile, and once you have it, it is the easiest of thing to do, right? And it is something that I'm talking based out on my personal experiences that I have experienced after coming into the world of agile, right? And the other thing is which has added up to in reducing the go to market time is, of course, the introduction of DevOps and the continuous integrations and other modern techniques, which has helped us really very very much in reducing these timings, right? So if you talk about automations, that has also added up to these things. So yes, agile is being a very dynamic kind of a software development approach. So its framework are also designed, and they are pretty much catered to do that. So yes, they are one of the finest things for startups to help reduce their go-to-market time, and by going early into the market can be a lot more eventful and for them, and achieving the good revenues also would be a part of it. So yes, that is something that based out of my understanding is agile is where it comes in, and helps in reducing the go-to-market time. Over to you, Deepa.
I'm not able
Deepa, we
to
can't
hear.
hear you.
Yeah. Shipra, anything you would like to add to what I have
Yeah,
added so far?
So to
yeah. I think
summarize,
Apur.
like the discussion we had, thanks, Apurv. I mean, you have calculated in a very good way because it's the demand of market where you need to reach on time to have the maximum benefit, right? So to the client, so that you have to. Anything to add, Shilpa, in this?
Yeah, it's Shipra. So thanks, Deepa. So it's been an iterative and incremental approach, which Apoorv rightly mentioned, and in the continuous flow as we talk about in the various agile frameworks, be it Scrum or Kanban. So recently, I was going through one of the case studies of Edge Verb. They are into the developing software products for banking suites like Finacle, which is used by the banks nearly across 94 countries. So they were in the process of adopting the agile frameworks. They were planning every few weeks, which sharpened their predictability, and their release time and the go-to time market was really improved by 50 to 66%. So irrespective of whatever approach or framework you are using in agile, so I think it's in a nutshell, whether you're Scrum or a Kanban, it helps you in reducing the go-to market time. Over to you, Deepa.
Deepa has left. I think she's experiencing some low bandwidth today. Maybe.
Yeah.
So I think,
So if
yeah, right to any business. So next question we have is, can it domain startup or just startup related to IT domain? So I would like, as per my experience to start, absolutely, it is very much possible because agile is not restricted to the IT industry, and it can be because applied to any other startup or existing business. It's purely a mindset or a philosophy which you can apply. And it gives you the privilege of customizing it in as per your requirement. So that's why we always emphasize on the hybrid way of working. So what works best for you, that depends on your kind of work, right? And given an example, like I was having a general body meeting yesterday with team members. So we were just sharing the client implementing agile feedback, the reflection when we started in a small way. I would say the small practices we have included in our day-to-day practices. So the machine background, the machines we use at our client will reach, they will check them right. Initially, that was a manual process. A person machines and they will get the report if it is faulty or it is working fine. So we make a change like to the concern, centralize the process. So as soon as the machine is breakdown, it is informed to the department, and you won't believe like we have improvement in turnaround time of repairing that achieved almost 50% machine. So that was a wow factor for client, because that was a pain area if your bad quality of cleaning, then machine is not working, then they can't achieve the required then the other step we have taken again forcefully due to COVID situation. So like 0% paperwork in our compliance activities. It was like all reporting will go into cloud and we will save it as a soft copy. For clients also, we are not distributing any hard copies of bills or any compliance related details. And it is all on the soft copy. And we amazingly realized that how much wastage we were doing to the environment in that way. So it was again a contribution to the society also, so that we can proudly say that society in a small way, but it is really have we can help required, right? The again then usage of electronic whiteboard. I mean, we always think like we have to go to the agile board and put the sticky and then do the task tracking and everything, but then we realize we can use the electronic whiteboard for the task and cards and tracking, and we can make is as beautiful colorful as, so that people are more related to their work and activities and they can relate themselves. So that in turn gives me the one team concept. People are more relative, they are more collaborative, and it provides them the more independently. So that was again like the changes which I have realized implementing agile in startup, and it was not an IT domain. Thank you. And anything to add from some other panelist?
Uh, yeah, I would.
think,
Sure,
yeah,
Shipra, go on.
yeah.
Go on, go on. Shipra.
No, please, you can go ahead, Apurv. It's
All
fine.
right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Shilpa,
So,
did I
yeah,
miss? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I would just like to add a point here that it's not. It is something when you talk about agile, and when we proudly say that it's more of a philosophy. So it should not be restricted, and it is a very pretty much a mindset that it is only applicable for ITs. But from where I see, I feel that it can be implemented to each and everything. Like for example, I want to organize by day, I can have a plan and I can do it. That is what in a nutshell, if you talk about agile, is that organizing yourself. So similarly, agile has some concepts like creating a backlog and doing a work. So this can be implemented across various industries, wherein if you talk about the production industries or the manufacturing units, right, they can simply implement it by just having a backlog and you know organizing their work. So when the other day, if anyone comes in, he just have to look at the worksheet. Okay, this is what I have to do today, and I'm doing it. So he does not need any supervision into that. So that is one thing wherein how agile would benefit it. The another aspect which
Right.
agile is making people cross functional. So it is also a good thing, right, that you're making people cross functional. So you, for example, A is there and B is there, right? So A can do what B is doing and B can do what A is doing. So that again reduces the redundancy of people in terms of that, right? And also the other thing which calls is a self-managed. So as I said that if you have a proper kind of a drainage, that okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, so you don't need any supervision. So yeah, I think this is how agile can also be implemented in industries which are from non-ITs. So yeah, it is pretty much a philosophy and you can implement it anywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Shipra, I think you wanted to
Yeah,
add
I think
something.
I think I'll just add
Yeah,
the point here that Agile was based started in 2001. Agile Manifesto was in 2001 for IT, but now if you talk about Agile has started making its way in various domains like Agile marketing, Agile in HR, Agile in education, where we have the manifestos and the principles coming up for all these domains. And recently I also saw the wedding on Scrum, which in the scrumoverwedding.com. So it was, a wow factor for me and an eye opener that how agile is being entering into various domains. So it's in marketing, HR, education, wedding, and I myself is also working on one of the initiatives of agile in Scrum and agile in supply chain. So yes, agile, I think it's, as my panel panelists have been mentioning, that it's about the mindset, it's the philosophy. So it's
Right.
more about applying that mindset and those values and principles into every domain which you can. So yes, definitely it's going beyond IT as well. So Deepa, if you
that's true, Shilpa.
All right.
Okay, next question we have, how agile helping in creating leaders? So, Shilpa, would you like to start on that?
So I think yes, agile definitely is leaders, whether it was in the history or in the present or in the future, will continue to have leaders. But yes, over a period of time, we did have agile leaders earlier, but now we talk about it in terms of terminology. And as agile itself means nimble. So today, if in this digital disruption world, we need to have those nimble leaders who are visionary and who believe in prioritizing and who has that commitment and focus. So for today's world where the change is so fast, you need to have those leaders with an agile mindset who are quick to respond to the market and who are quite adaptive and in their plannings. So definitely agile helps in evolving you as a leader, imbibing and living by those values and principles, being agile and then doing agile, believing in that philosophy evolves you as a leader itself. So if any other fellow panelists would like to add a point here.
Yeah, I would like to add.
Wonderfully summarized, Shilpa. Yeah, go on, Apurv.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, see, when you talk about leaders, I mean, you see who's a leader. He's someone who leads from front, and he is someone who takes the team or his people together, right? And when we talk about agile, the
Right.
very familiar word that we all have come across is servant leadership, right? Agile empowers leaders to be servant leaders, rather than being traditional and too much more into the bossy phases that what is, where is the report, or what are you doing. So it's more about creating or embracing people. So with the agile, the very good thing that has come up is the concept of coach, right? You have coaches now who cater people. So they are an excellent example of servant leadership that we have, right? And leaders are there to facilitate the a good collaboration, right? Because the better the collaboration, the better the stakeholder your vendor management, the better you would have a clarity on your own, and or about your product end goal, right? So yes, I mean, agile is pretty much, with its core values, agile is pretty much helpful in creating leaders for future.
Yeah, just to add on few more insight what I have, because leadership is not a position which we can think of. It's definitely a mindset which develops over a period of time with experience and with the situation you handle on day-to-day basis. And it is basically the because when sense of change in your normal routine, whenever there is a change, there is always a turbulence, whether it is a team or your company. Developing that mindset to accept the change and welcoming the failure, because I always feel wrong or I have some issue, because I have opportunity to perform good when I have something wrong, then I can perform better and I have opportunity to improve. So that that is how you can lead by example, because if you have that insecurity or you have fear, then you can't as a servant you will definitely pass on to your team members. So as Apur said, it's servant leadership wherein you need to have a mindset where entire team is involved in a success, and when there is a failure, leaders take them together and rectify themselves and improve that to take the entire team together like that. So agile definitely help in uh, doing the inspect, adopt, and implement. You need to continuously improve yourself, include strategy wherein it's based on the feedback. And it's definitely an art, because there are no set rules for that. Based on the situation and issue, you need to handle it intelligently. But the major point is, in waterfall we have everything defined, like these are part, then coding, and then testing requirement, then you have to start the design part, and then client will use it. But that again have a drawback and various failures, because failures of project acceptance at the end in waterfall we have almost 40% fall. That is how agile has come based on the demand of industry. Like if we talk about mobile apps, if you don't include market, so that is a normal features which customer is seeking, then you are out of normal trend you need to follow, right? So the time and strategy which agile has shown that you can to accept the change and work according to the market demand. And it definitely, once you start resolving issues, the you pass on to your team member kind of confidence and the lead members, and it will be a one team which can stood and handle all the scenarios. And that's all from my thank you.
Right. Very insightful, Monica.
It's the time for
Yeah, I think,
time
Monica,
for
there was
question
one
and
question
answers to
that
us.
was popped up to me. Yeah, there was one question that was popped up to me. It is that benefits of using agile frameworks over traditional software development models. So someone has asked this, that what are the benefits of using agile frameworks over traditional software development models? So I would like to add a
Thank
bit on
you.
this. That yeah. So I would just like to add a bit on this. That see, when we talk about agile, yes, agile is one of the as we have been speaking
Mm-hmm.
continuously, that it's a philosophy, it's a mindset. So yes, previously when agile was not much into existence, we had some traditional software development models or frameworks, right? So when you talk about agile, as I mentioned, that it is more of an incremental approach, wherein if you talk about the other models, for example, let's take waterfall, right? Now waterfall, what the problem with waterfall was, it was more of a linear kind of model, wherein an input to the next wherein an input to the next phase was an output to the previous phase. Like for example, if you don't have requirements, you cannot start with the requirement analysis, right? So this was more of a problem when you talk about waterfall thing, right? Agile, as said, that provides more flexibility in terms of with its core values like transparency, inspection, adaptation. So any point of time you feel that okay, you want to incorporate this particular set of change or requirement, so yes, we welcome that, right? The scope for feedback has pretty much improved when you talk about agile, as it has a lot of customer engagement and stakeholders management. So this is what I feel, that yes, agile is pretty much beneficial over when you talk about other software development models. So over to you, Shipra or Monica, if you want to add anything onto this.
Yeah, just one point I feel, because again, see, it's industry to industry. We can have a mix of waterfall and purely agile or purely waterfall. Because when we go for product-based industry, definitely they have waterfall more viable, and they can use it. But my personal experience says, just given a small example, uh, for my son who is in grade 12 right now, so I just follow the agile board kind of a thing, how many topics he has covered, how many are open, how many needs revision. So that was a small work which we can do. So it's totally a mindset, how we can implement it and how we can get benefit out of that, right? So we always say like develop that mindset and calculate the way of thinking and adopt that change. So again, I would repeat, like based on my experience, be ready for the unknown and accept the changes which are there in market and work accordingly.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think we should go for the question answer from
Questions,
audience
yes,
now.
yes. So let me read it
Yes.
out, and probably we all can discuss and answer, right? So the very first question is that what are the key practical challenges faced while implementing agile? If we talk about moving from traditional approach to agile, right? This must pretty much links with the current question. Yeah, the key practical
Okay,
challenges
should I
faced while
start?
implementing agile. Yeah, please go on, Monica.
Yeah, so the basics are doing and adopting agile. First is like if you go by theory, you will try to follow some set process that will not work with agile. You need to understand the concept, what benefit it is giving, why it is being used. So you need
Right.
to adapt that thing, and then only you can implement, because uh, there are no formulas to implement agile as such. Shilpa, would you like to add some point?
Yeah, I think the many resistance to change, the cultural change, I think are the most highlighted challenges when you are going for agile from a waterfall. So the people are not ready to be transparent. They're not ready to live by those values. So that resistance to change and that the cultural transformation which is required when we talk from to be agile before we start doing agile actually. So I think those are the two basic challenges when we are thinking about the transformation or the transition from waterfall to agile.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Shilpa.
Yeah. Thanks, Monica.
Okay. The next question is how to increase TTV slash feature cycle time. Okay. So can I go ahead?
Yeah, please approve.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah, right. So yeah, this is being asked by Deepak. So Deepak, when you talk about feature cycle time, so yes, I mean it is pretty much already reduced when you talk about agile. So let's take example from the Scrum, right? So in Scrum, there are it is a kind of a time boxed event wherein you deliver in a particular set of time and a particular set of value. So yes, I mean we focus more on business value, and with the concept of sprints and time boxes, yes, we deliver it in chunks, and we deliver with some product value. So yes, definitely agile is or agile based frameworks are a part of process which helps you in decreasing the time for your feature. So anything to add, Shilpa, Monica?
Yeah, I think to add,
Basically, just one point. Yeah, go on, Shilpa.
go ahead, Monica, please.
Shilpa.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
Shipra.
just one point, because agile and lean, they go in hand, because it's
Right.
always say wherever you can improve the process and save the time and money. So that is always beneficial for business.
Right. Shilpa, your thoughts?
Yeah, Shilpa, you can add more points.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking out loud here, right? That we talk about the MVP in Agile a lot, where we say that we need to have a minimal viable product with the basic features.
Right.
So we are talking about reducing the time to cycle. It's about, when you think about the MVP, you have that basic feature or the basic product out in the market with those basic features, and then you can get the feedback to keep on adding the features on the existing product. So that's another way of doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So that is why, like, we can see the multiple software updates we have. You can see the various updates keeps on coming for mobile apps, because they work on the issues and they add new features. So you can relate with that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Can I go to the next question?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So next
Yeah,
question
please.
is, yeah, for startups, when exactly do you start adopting agile? As I feel initial months of code may not be a stable one.
So for startup, you have to implement agile right from the idea phase. When you start doing something, you have to have that kind of mindset, because when you have already started, and then your cycle is already gone to a certain extent, right? So when you have that idea, like I want to do this, you need to have a proper planning around it. How you want to handle various situations or steps, or what process you are going to take, how team will work, how they will collaborate, the communication channels, and the reporting channels. So these are the things which you have to start hand in hand with the idea and implementing it. That's my view. Thank you.
Right. Can we move to the next question? Uh, if you're done with this?
Yeah, Pur,
Yes, please.
please.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I think the next question was already a part of our um, agenda. We already discussed that, how it can be implemented in non-IT companies. So I think that part is already done. So let's move to the next question. It is how and how not agile can help recover a startup in losses. Any customer startup reference story where agile helped? Basically how agile coped
Yeah.
up with recover. Yeah.
I'm going to take this question.
Sure.
See, it again, whenever you have losses, you need to revisit why the loss is coming, what is the actual cause of that. So once you have the cause, you give the, you can say, the rectification, or you improve the process, or you identify what can solve it. And I mean, using agile is, see, it's again, I will repeat again and again, it's basically a kind of mindset of accepting things. One way is, if I have a challenge, I go in panic, I reach out to the consultant and I take external help, or I can shout on my team, but that should not be the approach. We need to find the root cause of that. That's why, we can relate in IT, we do the RCAs. What is the root cause for this issue? Once you identify that, then you can include the business impact, like how much dollar value I'm losing because of this issue. Then accordingly, you can implement the fix or the changes, and you can overcome that situation. Thank you.
All right. Anything to add, Shipra?
Uh, I think Monica has done that.
All right. Yeah. So the next question is, don't you think agile is an overhead and more kind of micromanagement from an employee point of view? Sometimes it's not possible to quantify day-to-day progress.
So I think
Yeah.
it's
Shilpa, you
quite,
want to start?
yeah. So I think it's quite contrary to what we
Yes.
coach and train people about. Agile is not a micromanagement. In fact, it evolves everyone as a professional and as a team. So it's about we talk about agile micromanagement when we start doing agile without actually understanding the values and principles behind agile. I've
Correct.
seen teams and
Yeah.
organizations where they just do daily scrum, and they just do daily scrum. They call their requirements document as a backlog, and they state that, hey, we are agile. So sorry teams, you're not agile. Agile, before you start following the practices of scrum or say Kanban or any other methodology of agile, you need to understand and you need to imbibe the two values and the true principles of agile. So there you need to be transparent, there you need to be focused, you need to be committed, you need to be empowered, you need to have empowered team members, you need to have the focus team members who are committed towards their goals, towards meeting their objectives, towards meeting their goals. And then once you have the empowerment, once you have that self-managing teams, you will not see agile as a micromanagement. And yes, nevertheless said, you need to have the leadership with the same mindset. So it's also being top down, it's also being bottom up, so it's bi-directional. We together as an organization, you need to set this culture. So if you have empowered teams, if you're empowered as an individual and as team members, it's not a micromanagement. It's rather being inspect and adapt and feeling them empowered. Rather, you govern your work in agile. That's what we say. That's
Yeah.
all from my side for this
Just
question.
one thing.
Right.
Just one point to add on, like if you're honest and transparent, that's not micromanagement. So you can easily work with the agile mindset. So that's
Right.
what
And
it expect. Yeah.
correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, and one of the core values, when we talk about agile is self-organizing. So if you're self-organized, you
Yeah.
don't have to micromanage even yourself, not to others. So when
That's
you talk
true.
about
True.
self,
If
yeah,
you're
yeah,
honest, you can easily share. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So next question. Please share a startup case study where you have implemented agile. Monica, I think you will be the right one to answer
I
this.
have already covered a lot of things. But if there is anything specific,
Just to
you can touch
summarize.
base with me on LinkedIn or somewhere. I can definitely help.
Sure. All right. I think another question. Yeah. It says, what if business owners are not familiar or want to adapt agile? How can we convince them to start following it?
Hire us as a agile consultant. We will help them.
Yeah, we will be more than happy to do it.
We will be more than happy to do it. Yeah.
Right.
So you need to seek external help. If you don't have that experience, so you need to help,
Or
ask for someone to help them.
correct. Or better, just it is better. When you talk about business owners, they are much concerned about the numbers and the graphs. So it's better you go with some
Yeah.
preparedness of it, that this particular industry from our business competitors have done it, and this is how it has impacted them. So showcasing them those right statistics, those numbers and those graphs might encourage them to do it. Yeah, it will be a bit tricky one to do it, and it will be very tough, but not something that cannot be done. We as agile coaches have done it, right, Shipra, Monica?
See, Apurv, just to add on one more point, we always think of a broad level, I mean, the milestone we have to achieve. But if we go step by step, reaching small steps and taking corrective actions and including the practices, it will definitely lead you to the milestones. You will achieve it, right? But if you
Mm,
think big all the time, you won't achieve it. I mean, in between, if there is anything gone not as per your expectation, then you consider it as failure. But it is not the case, right? So go
right,
step by step, and then we can measure our success. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, yeah. And just to add, I've seen that, initially sometimes you do not get their buy-in when you start that change. But, once they start looking into the benefits, once they start actually seeing the, product coming out every few weeks or continuously, they could see the value, what we are trying to tell them. So, over a period of time when they have that trust and, that communication and transparency, and they see the product coming out, then they eventually have seen the business owners changing, and they start cooperating with you gradually. So initially, yes, that might be a fight, but once they start seeing the benefits being reaping in, they get with the flow and start cooperating with you. So you have to have that initial ice breaking with them, where you see that for the first few weeks or the first few months, you have to show them the product, something of valuable, some increment coming out of your daily work. So then they'll start
That's true.
appreciating that work. Yeah. So that is one of the things which I have experienced from my coaching.
Right.
So one small example, sorry, I'm just adding one more thing.
Yeah,
So
please.
one thing, like taking feedback from team on day-to-day basis, how much you have achieved, what is the progress level for the task assigned. So if you make things centralized and everyone can give their updates, so it's easy for a person who wants to monitor them to go and just see that screen and look out for the status, right? That's what agile suggests you. I mean, you just go and update your status if you have any blockers or if you have completed your work. So it's very simple rather than like chasing everyone how much you have completed and why you have not completed. So that gives irritation to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Apurv, next question.
I think we were done with the questions. So
Oh, good.
let's pass it on to Shreya.
Yeah. Yeah, because we are a little over
So
time.
Shreya, we are we are so involved that we three keeps on talking about something or other.
It's
Thank
like
you.
an
Yeah,
endless.
Shreya, you can.
It's like
Yeah, we can
endless.
probably take over this
True.
conversation to LinkedIn now. They can post the questions on the LinkedIn if you can answer over there. Or you can also type down your email addresses.
Absolutely.
They can send you the questions.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. We had some technical glitches, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks everyone. Thanks ANI. Thanks
The
Shreya.
show, yeah, show must go on, right? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you, everyone. Thanks, ANI.
Thank you.